white. I think as far as I think that's West Coast. That could be Galway as well. That's around here, yeah. I know, only person I know, Alex White's a chap I know. He's in my school. He's a doctor in San Francisco now. That's the only White I know. So when all the chaps in my school, when we came out of college, you emigrated. Unless you had a family business or you were a farmer, everyone emigrated. There was no work here. So what are the little yellow flowers?
Which ones?
Yeah, you see there, just there.
Where we're looking here.
The snowdrops, is it? No, the white. Just take a good look to the left-hand side there. That's a beautiful view, absolutely. Now we're coming. The cliffs are spectacular. About at the highest level, there's 790 feet. Now, I want to say that every year, some idiot decides to get over the fence and get a closer selfie to the cliffs, right? And the end result is not nice, right? And really, the bus has got to go. So please, no jumping the fence, right? No jumping the fence. Just get the selfie. The fact that you might be a yard or a couple of feet inland, it doesn't matter. If you the photograph from in front of the fence is just as good as any photograph, and we don't want to be. We want to be all the front of us. I only have 14. I want to finish with 14. Okay. Now, okay, I'll get out of here. Clancy said they used to lose about 3 or 4 stone when they'd be playing, because at that time the lights were different. The lights were so warm, and they were literally sweating. So what they did then was they had to find another way of. They had to wear the iron sweaters because their agent said to them, "Look, lads, I can get you any amount of gigs, any amount of work if you wear these sweaters." So it became their trademark. So then they had to find a way of getting a sweater made from a lighter wool. So they actually got somebody to use. They got them made using the merino wool, and that was the start of it. And the way it's made now, you have lighter, heavier wool to the front, and then lighter at the back, and they mix the wools. So just now out to our right, you can see there's Inishmore, Inishman, and Inishbeog, and one of those I have 33% chance of being right. I'd imagine, Tony Moyer, the nearest island is Inishman, is it? Inisheer, well there you are. That was second guess. That's Inisheer. Inishmore Moor in Ireland is big, so Inishmore is the big island. Inisheer is either east or west, so it's either the West Island or the East Island, and Inishbeog is the small island. Inishman. But it's a to live on an island. it's a tough life. It's a tough life.
Jerry,
Yes.
do you know that Ireland is an island?
Oh yeah, it's tough living here too, you know. It's a lonely life. That's why you have to get married, you know. Because we want a challenge. We all need a challenge. So as Tony said, there's a chap ahead and he's bringing his tractor for a walk. So we're behind him. Now we're coming up. which is a very nice little fortified, you know what I mean? A nice little harbour. This is a really lovely fishing village, and you'll see all the In this, you see all the different the houses are painted differently. Are bright in fishing villages in Ireland. Houses are painted every year because of the weather, and they all paint them with nice bright colours. So I hope they won't let me down now. They'll have nice bright colours. It's very picturesque, and these people rely on tourists like your good selves for a living. And so you guys are very, very welcome along the west coast. Yeah. Very big, lot of traffic this morning coming out. Your fish could have come from here, actually. Fish you're eating last night. Yes, there you are. You see that you have to, because of the Atlantic weather, you have to paint your house every year. So they paint them nice and bright, lovely bright colours. This is a typical quaint Irish village. When you see a shop, a name, usually the people used to always live over the shops, but they've probably got a little bit more posher lately and they move out. But normally the person who owns the shop has their name over it. There's Mr. Ford, or they've long gone. But Ford is that's where Henry Ford came from Ireland, originally from Ireland. So Ford is a Galway name. And on the right hand side here, now this is on the right hand side coming up, there's a lot here. You'd see a lake in the middle of nowhere. There's what they call turlocks, and these are lakes that develop and then they disappear because the water seeps down into the underground, into the caverns underground. So there's a lot of most of the water is underground here, and so there's great drainage. Now, one of the other things they find about the Burren is because it's all limestone, it retains the heat. So whereas the land here isn't good, it's very fertile. So cattle, the people from County Meath and they buy land here and they can winter cattle outside here because the grass grows all year round because of the structure, the limestone. The heat is retained by the limestone. Now, unfortunately, if you have a very wet summer, then you have a very poor winter. And you'll see a lot of cattle, here, whereas whereas it looks like poor land. Usually, you'll see cattle on all good land, and around here you'll see sheep. So you're going to come in, and we're going to stop for a very group picture in a place called the Corkscrew, the Corkscrew, and it's a miracle how the coach drivers like Tony can get up and down this corkscrew, and you'll see it coming up now fairly soon. And if you look over to your right, we're in the Galway Bay. That's Galway over. You see it now. Galway City. We'll go further up a bit. Right. Over to your right, you can see where we were last night. You see Galway City? Right over there on the far right. It was straight ahead to the right. No, that's Galway Bay. Look out on Galway Bay. this is fabulous, isn't it? Very different.
Yeah.
Get too many. We don't get our storms or small storms. No, we get a lot of wind. It's not. People are used to it too. You know.
It's time to stop rambling. There's work to be done. It's the big game.
Amazing.
They sent me.
Only 20 years ago, the fields here were much smaller.
And the band played.
That place everywhere. What would it be growing here? It is.
Mostly grass, but I don't know what he's grown in here now. It's hard to see what he's actually put.
A lot of cattle.
We sailed off for Galway.
There's a lot of land being cleaned off there, but whether they're going to grow something.
Farmers will tell you here, the most profitable thing to grow here is houses.
Yeah. What if you can get the planning permission?
Yeah.
Johnny Turkey was ready. We primed himself well. He rained us with bullets, and he showered us with shell.
Yeah, it's a nice view when you get a clear day. Like.
This is a beautiful view. And you see the beautiful fields, stone walls. This is unique. It's unique in Ireland. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. And we're on the wild Atlantic Way.
When we stopped,
And you notice the Frisian cattle there. The black and white cattle are Frisian cattle. They're milkers. The traditional Irish cow is a small, the Kerry cow, which is a small cow but exceptionally good at producing milk.
Does it make the Kerrygold butter?
They make the Kerrygold butter. Yes. No, I must
Alright.
tell you the Kerrygold butter. I said. When we got our independence.
Which one of you did when they were little? Sounds about right. It's love dress. Wow. It's gonna be
This is the seat of the famous Brian Boru, the man who defeated the Vikings, the first of the kings of between Ireland, England, Scotland, and Wales, who defeated the Vikings. So this is called Thomond, and the rugby ground, which is coming up fairly soon, I think. Is it coming up? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
It's called Thomond Park, and they've just built this new stadium. I played for Leinster, so there's a massive rivalry between Leinster and Munster. But I just said, by the way, story. The greatest rugby team in the world has always been the All Blacks, which is the New Zealand All Blacks, and they had never lost a match. Well, back in the 70s, they had never lost a match in 100 years to Ireland. Now they've lost the last 5, but the first match they lost to Ireland was in this stadium. Now when it was the old stadium, and it was the Munster actually beat the All Blacks, but a couple of my friends I had a couple of pals who I played with. They were playing for Munster that day, and one of them had rang me and told me there's 2 tickets for me, and I could go to the match. And I was looking forward to going to the match, and I turned around to my dad. I was working for my dad at the time. I turned around to him. I said, "Liam, Dad, I'm off to see the All Blacks play in Thomond Park. Would you like to come?" What I had actually said to him, Dad. black-headed, black, Scottish, no, the Scottish ones, right? And they're the ones from Connemara as well. I said, they don't need any help lambing, right? But the only big difference with those two, we're staying at the bottom of, we said the foot of the mountain. We're staying at the bottom of that mountain. And Carrauntoohil is the highest, that's Carrauntoohil. That's Carrauntoohil. That is the highest peak in Ireland. Fabulous. That's what they say, picture postcard. So the views tomorrow, the views in the Ring of Kerry. Queen Victoria was the first person she used to come holiday here because she loved it so much. And there's a place called Ladies View. Herself and her ladies used to, well, they'd have a whole pile of servants lay out tables and tablecloths and high tea, and they used to watch to have a look at the beautiful view. And there's a place called Ladies View which we'll be visiting tomorrow. We have such nice surprises. We're going to start the day off with with a horse and carriage jaunt around Killarney National Park, and you definitely will see deer. You will see deer tomorrow, guarantee you. Again, you have two types of deer: the Sika deer and the Killarney National Park is famous for the Irish